This is a letter that one Israeli hostage who was freed by Hamas a couple of days ago wrote to Al-Qassam brigades, generals, and personnel who were in charge of her when she was held with them in Gaza, and was recently published in Hebrew. I translated it to English and I'm going to read all of it to you. It is dedicated to the people who were in charge of her in Gaza, Al-Qassam brigades, the military wing of Hamas. And it goes like this. To the generals who accompanied me in the last few weeks, we might break apart tomorrow. I would like to thank you from the depths of my heart for your abnormal humanity you have shown to my daughter Emilia. You were like fathers to her. You called her to your room every time she wanted. She acknowledges the feeling that all of you are her friends, and not just friends, but true, good, loved ones. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the many hours you were like teachers. Thank you for being patient to her and gave her many sweets and fruit when there wasn't much. Children should not be hostages, but because of you and other kind people we got to know on the way, my daughter felt like a queen in Gaza. She generally feels like she is the center of the world. We haven't met one person in this long journey, from the personnel or even the commanders, who hasn't treated her in anything but friendliness, compassion, and love. I will forever be grateful because she hasn't left from here with a mental shock forever. I will remember your kind treatment you had for us here, despite the difficult situation and the grave losses you have had here in Gaza. I wish that one day it will be written for us to be good, kind friends in this world. I wish you all good health, wellness, and love to you and to your family members. Thank you very much, Danielle. Dated 23rd of November, 2023. This letter was written by the Israeli hostage who was freed by Hamas. Her name is Danielle. Her and her daughter were held as hostages with Hamas. This is the full letter, and despite Israeli bans on hostages speaking to the media, this letter was sent and kept to the Hamas Al-Qassam soldiers that were in charge of this woman and her child in Gaza. And despite the ban, multiple Israeli analysts spoke with the hostages and reported that they received good feedback when they left and after they spoke to them. One of them was Alon Ben David. Alon Ben David is a very renowned Israeli military analyst, and he confirmed this on live television. He said that the feedback he got from hostages confirmed, and this is a military analyst, remember this, on live Israeli television, that they were treated nicely, taken care of, and kept as communities. So they didn't break people apart. They let people be together so that they don't feel like they're outside of their natural community, because in the Israeli kibbutzes, they're usually communities. And kept as communities 5 levels below the ground whilst held by Hamas. He means Hamas's military wing, Izz ad-Din al-Qassam brigades. Another analyst on the same show said that they owed an apology for Yocheved Lifshitz, who was demonized in Israeli media after her press conference, her famous press conference. She was released for humanitarian purposes, and remember, Israel delayed freeing her basically, but Hamas insisted, and eventually was done through Qatar and Egypt. So they basically took her to Egypt, and then she went back to Israel from Egypt. She had a long press conference, and I spoke about her in some of my previous videos. She said that people reassured her on the way. They told her, "You're here as a guest." She said that they were kind, they were compassionate, they gave them food, they gave them medicine, they treated them nicely, they considered women's hygiene. They told her, we're Muslims, we're not going to hurt you. We believe in the Quran. We don't hurt people who are basically prisoners or hostages with us, etc. Israel took it as, they called it in Hebrew, pigua hasbara back then, which is like a hasbara disaster. Because people were taking her quotes and saying, well, you're telling us these people are barbaric animals who are there to kill everyone, right? But that's not what the people who spent time with them as hostages during war, under brutality, this is not what they're saying. These are people who actually spent time with these people as human beings, day to day, under the ground, in tunnels. This is what they have to speak about them. Where is all of the talk that we're hearing and all of the lies that we debunked from day one? Where are they? Where are they? Why is this woman not being spoken to on a regular basis? Why isn't the mainstream media speaking to these people, getting their statements, telling them, hey, what would these people like, you know? Who are these people? So this is the full letter that this woman left to the people, to the fighters who were in charge of her in Gaza for over 40 days. And imagine how much it takes for someone to come up with these deep and touching words for people who literally took her from her home and kept her as a hostage to free the prisoners that are being abused, on the other hand, threatened and tortured to death by Israel. Children prevented from seeing their families, being held under administrative detention in Israel without any charges, without any rights to see their lawyers, their families, without anyone knowing their whereabouts for months, and without charge, humiliated, abused. All of the prisoners that went out, the children who were released from Israeli prisoners, said that they were tortured, beaten, cut from the outside world, abused. 5 were beaten to death, starved. How does this compare to how these people were treated? How does this compare to the kindness that the Israeli people who were held with Hamas, how does this compare? And where is the world? Why are we not hearing this on national media? Why are we constantly being lied to? So I thought I'd share this with you, and I hope I've added some beneficial information, and I will hopefully see you soon in another video.